With the recent developments, do you have a different view around the cost of building foundational models?
Yeah. So first off, if that's a reference to a comment I made here a few years ago about the cost, I think that was taken out of context. That was a very specific time when there was a certain scaling thing where I thought, it was gonna, and I still think to stay on that frontier of pre-trained models is expensive. But one of the most exciting things that's happened to me since, that I think has happened in the industry since, is we're now in a world where we made incredible progress with distillation. We learned a lot how to do small models, and these reasoning models in particular can be, it's not cheap, it's still expensive to train them, but it's doable. And I think that's going to lead to an explosion of really great creativity, and India should be a leader there, of course. There's two sort of different ways you can look at the costs of models. So to stay at the frontier, we believe those costs will continue to rise on this exponential curve, but also the returns to increasing intelligence are exponential in terms of the economic value, the scientific value that you can create. So, we're doing this big Stargate project, and that's going to go like this. On the other side of it, the cost for a given unit of intelligence 1 year later seems to fall by about 10x. Moore's law was a 2x every 18 months for the number of transistors on a chip, and that changed the world if you waited a few decades. But what's happening with the reduction in cost in AI models is extraordinary. Now, I don't think it means that the world's going to need any less AI hardware, because you bring the cost down and just the people are going to use it for a lot more things. The total number of dollars will go up. But, that's a really exciting thing happening.
That's wonderful to hear, and I think there's a lot of excitement here, which is why, so I'd like to come to you. You recently announced that India should be building foundational models, and it's a very complex process. And I was just wondering, how are you thinking about the surprises and the serendipity that's going to come from a lot of the diversity that we have here and the complexity of just India. And so, how do you feel that the foundational models that India is planning to build is going to be unique and serve a unique purpose to the world?
Listen, lots of innovation is happening. As Sam said, every year it's 10x reduction in the cost of intelligence. That kind of innovation can come from anywhere in the world. Why shouldn't it come from India? That's the point. Sure. And our young entrepreneurs, our startups, our researchers, they are really, really focused on getting that next level of innovation, which will reduce the cost. See, our country sent a mission to the moon at a fraction of the cost that many other countries did, right? Why can't we do a model which will be a fraction of the cost that many other countries do? So yes, innovation will bring that cost down. We think that that kind of thing will come out in this process.
Absolutely, and just the diversity that we have here. I think at OpenAI often we say that if you can solve for India, often you can solve for the world as well. Because if you're able to take care of the breadth that we have and be able to solve for the last mile, often you can very much do that. And also you've spoken extensively about the the excitement that you have around building on application layers. And since we have developers and startups in the room, I think this could be a great space or a great platform for you to share. What do you really think are areas that they should really be thinking about, and also not only supporting on the application layer, but also your adoption just within the government? How are you really looking at that AI adoption within the government?
That's a good question. We have been using multiple AI applications within so many different departments, so many wings of the government, and I think that can really help us solve these population scale problems. Because most of the problems we face, Sam, are problems where you have to look at a multiple of billion, so which is like very common. So then how do we solve these population scale problems? That's where our focus, of course, is on all the three layers, and within the applications in healthcare, in education, in agriculture, in weather forecasting, in disaster management, in transportation, multiple different things we are working. And I request the entire startup community to come up with very unique solutions, and we'll be open. We are very soon starting a kind of open competition for it, open empanelment competition kind of thing. So that will be huge. so many problems can be solved, and why don't we use this latest technology that we have for solving these problems, right? You guys are good with that? Would love to do.
Some more energy, guys. Come on. Amazing. Just building on that, Sam, I'd like to come to you, talking about population scale problems, as the minister said. Again, India is very well placed for that, and our mission really is, artificial general intelligence for all of humanity. And so I'm really curious to understand from you, how can the models and the tools that we are constantly releasing play that equalizer role and be able to really fulfill in healthcare, education, at really significant ways?
Finally, for the first time, I think the models that are on the near-term horizon, the models that we'll release in the coming months, are over the threshold of being good enough to really address these problems. And now people just have to go build the solutions. So you already see, and you see this actually a lot with deep research in the last couple of days. People say it did this amazing thing for diagnosing a disease or helping me with my research to, try to cure a disease. Education, you've already seen now with previous models where people say it did amazing tutoring results. So I think the underlying innate technology is just right on the threshold, and we'll get there with the next models. But now people have got to go off and build all these services. So someone in this room hopefully will figure out what the AI tutor of the future looks like, and that'll be a population scale thing, and it'll think what that would do if every kid on Earth, this year got an AI tutor that was provided like a better education, or helped to provide a better education than anybody could get last year. Think what it would mean if we could have like an AI medical diagnosis system that was better than anyone could get last year. Think what it could mean if scientists could go cure every disease faster. And so, we've been waiting for this moment for a long time. I think we're going to deliver something that can help with it, and now people have to go build with it.
Absolutely, and I think the recent launch of the research was just incredible, right? And I think everyone's been tracking it closely. We want to be able to use it. Do you have any advice specifically if we were to use that to solve, very complex problems like cancer and large diseases that we suffer? Do you have any sort of guidance on what's the right way to start experimenting?
So we're very much still in the research assistant phase of this. This can help someone review the existing literature and find some connections. But this is not an innovator yet. I don't think we're yet at the technological level where any of us should expect these models to go cure cancer on their own. We will get there, I think.
Yes.
But for now, I think this can help researchers be much more productive in what they do.